How many times have you started a project thinking this is going to be quick, easy, in and out, no time at all, right? And then it kind of just snowballs into something a whole lot more in depth. Yeah, that's what this video just became. Keep watching. Originally, today's video was going to be about how easy it is to replace your tub's spout. I mean, here's the one that I removed. You know, super simple. This one just threaded on to the end of the rod there. Why it's so short, we'll go into in a minute. But this just threaded on to the end. You can see in there, just got the threaded bit inside. And the reason they needed to be replaced was that the divert was just wonky. It wasn't diverting all the water up to the shower head. There was still water coming out of the faucet when trying to use the shower. And you can see in there, it's just, you know, the house is 20 years old and this is probably original. So, you know, some units, they have a little notch on the bottom there, and there might be a set screw up in there that holds it on, depending on what the internals of your faucet are like. This one, like I said, just threaded on to the end. So you get a good pair of pliers. You just, like plumber's pliers, something like that. Pipe wrench if needed, but I just used an adjustable wrench and got it on there. I didn't care about marring it up because it's gonna get replaced, and it just came right off. So that's what today's video was going to be about. Instead, when I went to get a new faucet to replace this one, I got a set. So here's the new faucet, spout, whatever. I thought I would replace the handle at the same time, you know, have a match. You know, why not? It makes sense. So in disassembling the handle, I broke the valve. So we'll make this video about how to replace your valve. Not exactly, I've already got the valve replaced, but I wanted to kind of go into some of your options if you have to replace your valve. So the way that I broke the valve was I was trying to remove the handle. Now the handle came off easy. That was just a screw in the bottom and it just slid right off. What I was trying to remove was the stop mechanism that the handle attached to. I was going to try to see if I could just replace that with a new handle that matched the spout. And what broke was the screw that went into the center, into the valve. Basically the way that the part the handle attached to, the way that attached to the valve is what broke. So then I was like, well, shit. Let's figure out how I'm going to go about replacing the valve. My first initial thought yesterday was, great, I got to replace my entire surround, you know, and I really didn't want to go into all that. But then I got to thinking, well, if I have a multi-piece surround, I should be able to just take the side off. I don't have a multi-piece surround. That is a one-piece shower surround. Shit. Okay. The other option is to replace the entire tub and surround. Now it's getting more expensive. But then I got to thinking, behind the shower is my daughter's closet. So you can see I punched a hole in the wall right behind the valve. What I did was I took a long screw or a long drill bit and drilled a couple holes in from the front once I got the spout out, so I knew exactly where it was. And then yeah, I just cut a hole. So there are a couple ways to fix that hole. I mean, obviously I can go get a piece of drywall, cut it to size, add a couple braces in there and patch the hole. That would work. Great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a removable panel. And that way, in the future, should, you know, there would be a leak, have to replace the valve again, you know, whatever, you're not going to have to cut into the drywall again. I won't have to, you know, the next owner of this house won't have to, whatever. I'm going to make a removable panel. And since it's in the back of my daughter's closet, you know, there would be seen. She actually had a couple of drawer units up against that wall that I had to remove to get in there. So, with it being in the closet, I'm just going to make a removable panel. All right, so here is how I'm going to deal with this hole. Now, I'm not going to go into actual replacing the valve because everyone's plumbing situation may be a little bit different, and all your valves by different manufacturers, while probably all similar, still have their differences. So this one just happens to basically clamp itself. You can see that black section right there. That clamps itself to the shower surround, and that has different configurations based on whether you have drywall or just the tub, whatever. So that's why I'm not going to go into the specifics of actually replacing the valve. What I am going to mention is the fact that all the connections, so the two PEX connections for the hot and cold supply, the pipe for the spout, and the pipe going up to the shower head, I used shark bite connectors on those. My first time using those, and they're great. Highly recommend them. I mean, it made life so much easier than trying to, you know, slip a hose barb into a PEX connector and then crimp it and then sweat the copper to a, you know, a threaded end to go on the valve. Shark bite connectors are the way to go. Now, when it comes to the actual hole itself and how I'm going to handle building a panel for this, now I would also do the same thing or something very similar if I was just going to patch it with drywall. See, I added a brace across the bottom, and I added two pieces screwed into the studs going up the side. Those go most of the way to the top. That's going to act as the support for the panel. Or if you were going to do drywall, you would obviously add another one across the top there, and that would support your new piece of drywall, and then you just screw it in and then mud and tape and you'll be done. But for my panel, these three pieces here are going to act as the support for the drywall. And then let me get set up and I'll show you the panel. Here is, I don't know how well you can see this, it's a very small closet here, so bear with me. Here's the panel that I made. So the panel itself, I just took some 1/2-inch drywall for the main part, for the center, got some trim, and I trimmed it out. Like I said, this is all going to get painted when the wall gets painted. This is just primed right now. I don't have any paint to match. But on the back, I added some scrap 1/2-inch drywall plywood that I had available. And the top, I added this lip. See if you can see that there. So there's that. This piece of 1x across the top is actually going to slide up behind the wall, and then the trim in the front, it'll basically hold it. And then I added some screws all the way around just to kind of secure up the drywall here. But these 3 screws I left right at the surface. I didn't sink them in. The reason being, I added 3 magnets to the bottom, just sunk into the trim piece. And those 3 magnets will just grab onto these 3 screws and kind of help hold the bottom. Now I know I haven't finished bracing the valve yet. The valve is pretty well braced with this ring that clamps to this is the tub right here. It clamps on there pretty good, but I'm still going to add another backer piece like this one here. I'm going to add it right up here just to kind of clamp the hoses to and to help support it. I'm not going to try to screw it in. I had one of the ears break off on me there, but this thing is secure. So let me show you how this panel actually fits in the hole. I don't know how well this is going to record. Like I said, very small closet, and trying to record and have a light is a little difficult. Let's see. So the panel itself, like I said, this piece here just locks in up behind the drywall, and it's snug. Slides up, and there you go. There's the panel. Now I do have to kind of just fill those screw heads in a little bit, and those will get done when I prep this closet for painting. It does need a fresh coat of paint. But there you go. Now I have a panel that if I ever need to get in there again, or if a plumber needs to get in there, or next owner, whatever, needs to get to this valve, you just pop the panel off the wall. So there you go. Today's video is a twofer. Replacing your shower spout and adding an access panel behind your shower to get to the valve if you ever need to. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified when new videos come out, and I'll see you on the next one.